It is the most wonderful time of the year. It is time for Steam Next Fest. This fall in October, between the days of 10/14 and 10/21, October 2024, Steam Next Fest is here to show off what is coming up next from the indie scene, from the AAA scene, and give you a preview into those things using a massive number of demos. I've been super excited to check out games this week, and I played over 50 so far. I'm looking forward to doing more over the weekend, but I wanted to make a video to help round up the games that I played, the ones that I enjoyed the most, and share with you some of my experiences that hopefully over the weekend, when you're having some free time, you can go and check out Steam Next Fest for yourself and maybe check out some of the games that I enjoyed. Just rounding out the week with some overall impressions of some games. In the description below, I have a Google document that lists all of the games I played, a first impression score, as well as some basic notes on them. I was pretty harsh on some of the worst games, but some of the good games are really dope. So give that document a look. Again, that's in the description below, the like button. Yeah, so let's hop in and learn about Steam Next Fest October 2024. All right, so let's hop in. The first game I want to talk about is Spirit Strike. This is a third-person spectacle fighter. It's a little goofy. It's based in Kung Fu. Best played with a controller, in my opinion. And this game, when I first loaded into the game, I was like, what is going on? Definitely a little odd at first glance, but then you start playing and you're like, man, this is really hitting. It's just like a goofy Kung Fu over-the-top action game. There's punch attack, kick attack, and you combine that while you're also dodging, doing that sort of like Batman Arkham style combat, and then just like having these sort of over-the-top finishers on your enemies. Really fast-paced and goofy. It's obvious to me that this game is a little incomplete. Their camera work is rough. The animations and the enemies the variety is not there. But high intensity, high action, high fun gameplay with the sort of constant motion of your character fighting off a bunch of different enemies and getting that flow state of the third-person spectacle fighter. All right, next I want to talk about a game called Rogue Flight. It's like a play on the term roguelike. Funnily enough, I just realized that while recording this. This is a game that's clearly inspired by that old Star Fox style of game where you are flying a ship on an on-rails level, but you can move around in a 2D sort of plane while enemies come at you, and you can barrel roll, you can perform maneuvers, you can do all sorts of things. And the roguelike aspect comes in when the enemies drop power-ups and pickups and alternate weapons, all of that type of thing. Super fun, very sort of old school. Really enjoyed the short time I had with this game, and this game has a really cool 90s cartoon aesthetic, sort of reminiscent of Gundam or Cowboy Bebop. Really enjoyed my time with this. Definitely give it a check out if you have time this weekend. Next up, I have a game called Windblown. This is the next game from the team that brought you Dead Cells, which is a really popular roguelike game from years back. Not all the same developers worked on this game, as a preface, but it is the same team, at least in essence. Definitely the same company, at least. I had a ton of fun with this short demo. There's clearly going to be a lot of meat on the bone with this one. It's so crisp and so fast. The power-ups are fun. The different weapon variety. There's a crossbow that you get that you play a miniature rhythm game when you're shooting it, which is a super fun thing. The different characters, the little like animals, there's a pangolin, there's a guinea pig, that type of stuff that you can play as. They're all super cool and cute and stuff. And then the environment of this not neo-futuristic, but this sort of ruined futuristic floating islands with these old ancient robots that you're taking down. Very cool aesthetic and vibe, and the music is good, and you're just blasting through these levels, powering up your character, getting that meta currency to increase your power further, unlock stuff, things like that. It's actually sort of like if you took Dead Cells and put it in 2.5D. A ton of fun. And It wasn't in the demo, but when it fully releases, there's multiplayer, and I'm really looking forward to trying that out with friends. I think this is going to be a great time. All right, next up, we have a game called SEKTORI, SEKTORI. This is I'm an old man. I had the original Xbox, and on the original Xbox, there was a game, or maybe it was Xbox 360, there was a game called Geometry Wars, which was a massive success for no reason. Like one of the original indie game giga hits. This game evokes the feeling I had playing that game for the first time. It's massively colorful. You get crazy power-ups. The music is blasting in your ears. You just feel like a god when you're playing this game, and it's a ton of fun. The power-ups are sick, and I think it's just that high-intensity twin-stick shooter that could really bring you, you could really sink a ton of hours in if you really put the skill and the effort into getting skilled. I think that this is going to be a great pickup, especially if it's $20 or less. Super, super excited to play more SEKTORI. All right, this time around in Steam Next Fest, I played quite a few rhythm games. I enjoyed each of them separately for their own reasons. I think Hyperbeat is going to be huge. I think Blink and Die was a little rough. There's one other one that I can't remember. Oh, sorry, not Hyperbeat's going to be huge. I think Beat Block has the potential to be huge. It's a little visually loud. But the one that stands out is from a team that has succeeded in this genre before. Rift of the NecroDancer is a game from the Rift of the NecroDancer, the NecroDancer team that's doing their take on, rather than an RPG style game, they're doing a Guitar Hero style game, and it is a ton of fun. I suck at rhythm games, and I also suck at this game, but I can recognize a well-designed, high-action rhythm game when I see one. And I imagine that if you like Guitar Hero, if you like games like NecroDancer from the days of old, then you will absolutely love Rift of the NecroDancer. Definitely want to check that one out if you are into some good music and good rhythm gaming. All right, next up, I want to talk about a first-person action roguelike game that I got to try out. It's called VOIN, VION. This game is like if you took Skyrim, injected some nitrous in it, and you added like demons and power-ups. This is like a very fast-paced first-person action game. You have a giant sword. You can effectively fly through the air. You shoot lightning out of your hands. I just think that this game really, I had a good time with it, even though I didn't play it for very long. It definitely stuck its hooks in me, and I'm really interested to see what it's like. It's if you took the more recent Doom games, but rather than giving you a shotgun and a chainsaw, they just gave you a sword and magic. Super high intensity, sort of dodging and weaving around enemy attacks and swinging your sword to take them down with a super satisfying meaty hits. VOIN. This one rocks. All right, next up, I'm going to take it a little into a lighter toned game. I tried out a game called Beastie Ball. This is like if you gave Pokemon volleyball and you put it in a game. That's effectively what it is. You are literally playing a JRPG that is exactly like Pokemon. You gather monsters, you invite them to your literal volleyball team. It's not a volleyball team though, it's Beastie Ball. And you put them on a court to play volleyball. It is really goofy. The humor is there. It's like Saturday morning cartoon vibes, which of course comes with that sort of Pokemon association. And of course, there's also like a plot from the evil company to tear down the environment of the beasties that you are playing on your volleyball team with. Had a lot of fun trying this one out. I like how goofy it is, and it seems like if you that sort of Pokemon feel and you also like volleyball, you'll really be into this one. I think it's a good execution. Hey, I just want to give a quick aside here in the middle of the video. I tried a ton of games this past week, and I am only highlighting the ones that I think are worth mentioning, but that doesn't mean the other ones are not worth your time to check into. I have a very specific taste in games, which means I'm my own person. You're your own person too. You probably have a different taste in games. Go ahead. Again, I have a Google Doc linked in the description below the like button. go give that a look through the games, and see if there's something in here I didn't bring up in this video that maybe interests you. There was a ton of great games I played this week that I'm not going to bring up in this video, like Cursebane, Locomotive, Lonely Mountains, Mainframes, Temtem Swarm, To Kill a God. I can list so many. Go check those out. That said, I want to talk about a much lighter toned game now. This game is called Proverbs. I tried a couple of different puzzle games, but this is the one that really caught me the most. It's reverse Minesweeper, or reverse Sudoku, or Sudoku and Minesweeper. I really don't know how to fully describe it. You have to try it out to play it. Effectively, there's numbers on a board, and the numbers indicate a certain type of the number of a certain type of square surrounding it, similar to Sudoku or Minesweeper. And I am not certain yet, but I think when you complete the full board, there will be an art piece, which I think is really fun. But I love Sudoku and I love Minesweeper. I tried a Minesweeper roguelike this week, and I think that this one really shines through. The music is nice, the presentation of the puzzle is nice, and I think that there's so much content here that you could be playing this game for a week or two if you like that sort of brain twisting number type game. Definitely something to look into. Again, that game is called Proverbs, and it should be on your screen. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about, I had a really good time trying out. This one is called Void Souls. And the reason I think it's called Void Souls, obviously the Souls comes from that Dark Souls vibe. This is a 2D top-down Souls-like game, except you're playing a triangle instead of a man. I had a great time playing with this. I think that there's some excellent level design going on here. Obviously, the content within the demo is very limited, but what I saw was really impressive. The lighting, the action, like the moment-to-moment gameplay really shined through in this. It seemed like there's a lot of gameplay variety as well, that it really takes that feeling of playing a Dark Souls game. You can either go a strength or dex build, and then moving it into this odd 2D world where even these like triangle creatures, people, or whatever you want to call them, are expressing themselves. There can be a menacing large triangle and like a quick small triangle, and that's translated very well into the way that they're presented to you. I found this game to be really tight, and I'm really looking forward to the full release because I think I'm going to check it out. I'm a huge Souls-like fan, and I think that this one performs its job very well. All right, the next game I'm going to bring up needs no introduction. It's called Rivals of Aether 2. This game actually has a huge marketing budget, similar to Supervive. Supervive has a huge marketing budget, also a great game. But I just wanted to bring it up because I love Smash Bros, and that's what you're getting with Rivals of Aether 2. The old Rivals of Aether that released when I was in high school really was a ton of fun. I put a lot of hours into it. I know people who put even more hours into it and got into the competitive scene. And this one has even more backing. Ludwig is at the helm, a huge YouTube creator. That means that this game will succeed without a doubt. So if you want some Smash Bros fun in a PC environment with strong support, strong characters that all have very good identity in terms of their gameplay, their art design, things like that, Rivals of Aether 2 is definitely a hit, and it's a ton of fun. Play it with your friends. I don't think it's going to be free to play, but not expensive, not price restrictive, and you can get a ton of hours and a ton of enjoyment out of this game when it releases probably next week. And the last game I am going to cover in this video is a game called Keep Driving. This is the game that I am most excited for personally coming out of this week of Steam Next Fest, other than the like really large budget games that were presented. In terms of indie games, this one is just incredible. It's basically you're like a Midwest teenager or like young college student who you're playing Midwest Oregon Trail, and that's the best way I can describe it. You go on a road trip to your friend's house. You just want to play video games, drink a few beers, things like that. But to get to your friend's house is a whole ordeal, let me tell you. And I would not be telling the truth if I didn't tell you that I drunk drove in the game. Not that you should do that in real life. Don't do that in real life. But drunk driving in the game comes with potentially more challenges than it does in real life. And you can pick up hitchhikers. The hitchhikers are all kitschy people. You can encounter the police and potholes and abandoned cars, and you have to manage your gas, and you do side gigs, and you go hiking and all this sorts of stuff, all on a road trip to reach your friend's house. And I imagine that you could have a ton of fun playing this game, especially if you like that sort of Oregon Trail slow burn gameplay. There is a banging pop punk soundtrack that comes with this game. What was shown off in the demo was a ton of fun. I imagine that there will be more music and way more content in the full release. So yeah, again, that is Keep Driving. A ton of fun. Check that one out. That is my biggest recommendation for the week. All right, and that pretty much rounds out my summary of the games that I enjoyed the most from Steam Next Fest October 2024. Go ahead and let me know what games you enjoyed in the comments below if you have played any games. And if you haven't, check out the games that I suggested. I think that you might like one or two of them. Not everyone has time to play 50 games in the week, but hopefully you could find some time in your weekend coming up. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. And please remember to like and subscribe to this video. I look forward to doing more in the future, and see you in the next Steam Next Fest for another roundup.